Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So I have a little bit of an update for you already on Thomas Caldwell. You may recall a man named Thomas Caldwell was the first to be charged with conspiracy in regard to his participation and the alleged planning of the attack on the U.S. Capitol. Now, two of his fellow insurrectionists have also been charged with conspiracy. Jessica Marie Watkins, who I also mentioned, and a man named Donovan Crowell. In addition to the conspiracy charge, the three have also been charged with conspiracy to impede or injure an officer, destruction of government property, obstruction of an official proceeding, unlawful entry into a restricted building, and violent entry or disorderly conduct. The three defendants were initially charged individually, but a newly filed complaint states that they basically plotted and acted together to obstruct the certification of Biden's electoral college votes. And so the cases appear to have been consolidated now. And these three communicated with additional members of their group. So it wasn't just the three of them, and I talked about that a little bit, but they used a walkie-talkie app on their phones, which means there's a trail. There are recordings of all of their communication. It's not like a phone call. And beyond this evidence, there were Facebook messages from Caldwell, which I read some of them yesterday, but there are some others that they mentioned, which read, quote, "See you on the 6th in Washington, D.C., along with 2 million other like-minded patriots." Really, I mean, these people believed, honestly, that 2 million people were going to show up in D.C. They truly overestimated the number of people who were willing to put their time, money, and future on the line for Trump. Another Caldwell Facebook message read, quote, "She says there are 5 of you, including a husband and wife, new recruits." I hope this husband and wife team doesn't have children, because we all know what we do with children in this country. I mean, when their parents break the law, their children are sent to the border. They're locked in a cage. They're taken care of by strangers. Sometimes they're abused. I mean, at least that's what I've heard from MAGA for the last few years, that's what you do when you do something illegal. This is what happens. Your children get taken away from you. They get locked in cages. Oh, wait, no, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, one-term Trump is gone now. So lucky for these parents, their children will be sent to live with family when they're locked up. But I digress. So Watkins is the female that was involved in this group and charged. She also posted on several social media sites as she was taking part in the attack. So she's basically given prosecutors a complete breakdown of her crimes in real time. She even admitted to forcing entry into the Capitol in a post on Parler. So someone was questioning her about it, and she said, "Oh no, definitely forced." And she made some reference to rugby. She also gave an interview to the Ohio Capitol Journal in which she admitted to fighting with police. She said, quote, "Truthfully, we were very respectful with Capitol Hill PD until they attacked us. Then we stood our ground and drew the line." No, they're law enforcement. Remember, you guys have been whining and crying all year about how we're supposed to back the blue and be respectful of them and do what they say. And, you guys are always telling Black people that if they would only do what the police tell them to, they wouldn't get shot. Funny how you didn't do what they told you to do. You didn't follow their orders. Yet somehow you're still here. Somehow you're still walking around all living in shit. Yeah, sounds like white privilege to me. The other man charged with conspiracy, Donovan Crowell, wrote a Facebook message to Caldwell on January 1st, and he said, quote, "Happy New Year to you, sir. Guess I'll be seeing you soon. We'll probably call you tomorrow, mainly because I like to know WTF plan is. You are the man, Commander." So it's pretty clear from all of the back and forth, including posts and then other messages that I mentioned yesterday, that Caldwell was considered the leader of this group. He seems to have taken the role of an actual commander issuing orders, which they all gladly followed. I mean, let's not take away their will. They're grown-ass adults, and they're not in the military anymore. They went along with it. But it's also clear from many of these messages that Caldwell was calling for violence even before the event. So in a message to Crowell on January 2nd, Caldwell wrote in part, quote, "I will probably do a pre-strike on the 5th, though there are things going on that day. Maybe can do some night hunting. Paul will have the goodies in case things go bad and we need to get heavy." So Crowell also talked about violence, but not just towards lawmakers. They also seem to have been discussing shooting Antifa members. So there was a back and forth Facebook message, and Crowell replied to someone who wasn't named in the indictment, and he wrote, quote, "We are doing the White House in the AM and early afternoon. Rest up at the hotel, then headed back out tomorrow night, Tifa hunting. We expect good hunting." And as I mentioned, Caldwell received Facebook messages while the attack was underway. And I was reading through the complaint today, and there were quite specific directions to locate the lawmakers. So they mentioned that they're under the building, that they're in the tunnels. And then one message that he received stated, quote, "Go through back house chamber doors facing north left, down hallway, down steps." So this sounds like somebody who has been there. Someone who knows the layout, someone who absolutely knows how to get to these areas. Or at the very least, someone who had a map. And then the question is, who gave that person the map? So Caldwell had his first court appearance already. They did it via Zoom or Skype or something. And he asked to be released on bail. And he cited his age, his underlying health issues, and COVID concerns. Anybody else, I would say, yeah, that really is a concern. But let's look at this clearly. This is a guy who had no problem being surrounded by and inches away from thousands of maskless, COVID-denying Trump supporters. And he bragged about how they stormed the castle, they ran through tear gas. He himself was shown in videos not wearing a mask at this event. Now all of a sudden, he's concerned about his health. Now all of a sudden, this guy who stormed the castle can't handle sitting in a jail cell with maybe one other person. Now he has these underlying health conditions and he's so worried about getting COVID. But you were willing to go with 2 million patriots, by your own words, to DC without a mask. Weren't worried about COVID then, huh? You know, as we've heard for the past 4 years, suck it up, Buttercup. Don't be such a snowflake. Oh my God. You know, and as I mentioned yesterday, these people obviously believe that they either had the right to do what they were doing, that there was nothing wrong with it. They had deluded themselves into believing that, or perhaps they thought that Trump might pardon them if they did get in trouble. They should have known. All you have to do is look at Trump's 3 marriages, unpaid debts, using fake bone spurs to get out of serving in the military, all of his enemies who were once allies and friends. That should show you he's neither faithful or loyal to anyone but himself. How do they not get that? Trump did what he always does. He indirectly gave them orders to attack, knowing that they would do it. Michael Cohen warned about this. When Michael Cohen gave that testimony before Congress, he said, Trump never gives a direct order. He says it in a way that you know exactly what he means, but he wants deniability. He told these people, I'll be right there with you. We're going to walk down. Instead, what did he do? He went and sat his lazy ass in the White House to watch on TV while these people did all the dirty work for him. Now, I'm not taking away their actions. Again, they're grown-ass adults. They did what they wanted to do. But he coerced them into this. Now, he's condemning their actions. Now, he's distancing himself. He's pretending, oh, yeah, I don't know where they got these crazy ideas to commit violence. These aren't patriots. These aren't my people. And where are their pardons? Long gone. Not going to happen now. Like Michael Cohen and so many others, now they get to spend quite a bit of time in jail reflecting on their actions. They get to consider, was it worth it? I have a spoiler alert for them. It wasn't. You just threw away up to 20 years of your life for a man who wouldn't stop to piss on you if you were on fire. He literally lied you into prison for his own political gain to soothe his broken ego because he couldn't accept and admit that he lost. That 81 million Americans hate him with a seething, raging passion. You have to find some way to own the libs from behind bars. The one guy, like I said, Caldwell, he may spend the rest of his life behind bars. He's already 65. The woman, she's in her, I believe, mid to late 30s. She's going to spend the rest of her young adult life behind bars. By the time she gets out, she's going to be retirement age. The other guy, I think, was like 50. Same with him. All right, guys, as always, like, share, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.